What's up, everybody? Jonathan here with Descent Athletics, and today I'm bringing you a shorter video on how to get started. So you've been watching these videos, you got a fire burning, and you are ready to go out and start your own fitness journey. So now we got to sit down and figure out, where do we start? And so before we go out and do anything, what we need to probably think about doing is setting some goals. And in doing these goals, what I want you to think about is setting SMART goals. For the rest of this video, we're going to more talk about SMART goals, and I'll explain that in a second. If you haven't heard of what SMART goals are, let's break it down. So S in SMART is for specific. I need these goals to be specific. And so if I'm going to get started out and working, there is as you get down the road, you can have goals that don't seem to go together. In the beginning, I wouldn't do that. So what do I mean by that? I wouldn't set out to increase my back squat while also improving my 10K running time. Those are going to be two different kind of things in the beginning as you're working out, and so you're going to have a hard time chasing both of these. So be specific. What are we trying to do? Maybe we just want to improve our 10K time, or we just want to improve our squat. There you go. M should be measurable. So I need to be able to measure this. I need to be able to run a 10K, have a time, and then see if my time gets faster as I go into training. I need to squat and then see if my squat has gotten better. So I need to be able to measure these results. If I can't measure my results, I'm going to quickly burn out. If you aren't able to see the reward, if you're not able to see the benefits of working out, you will stop. And that's anything in life. That's just how our brain is wired. We need to be able to see that we're getting the result or reward that we want, and then we can keep going. And if we can't measure it, we're not going to be able to look at that. A is achievable. There's only ever been one person to run a sub 3-hour marathon. So if your goal is I want to go run a sub 2. There's only been one person ever run a sub 2-hour marathon. And so if your goal is, hey, I want to go run a sub 2-hour marathon, that's probably not achievable. But if you make your goal, hey, by the end of this year, by the end of next year, I want to go run a marathon, that is achievable. We can definitely do that. R is relevant. I'm going to stay with the 10K thing. If we want to run a 10K, but we have a amputated knee, whatever it is, you're not able to run, then it's probably not a relevant goal. That's not something that we want to do. So pick a goal that is something that you're going to be able to accomplish. And if you're not in the gym right now, you might be surprised with the things that you can go out and accomplish. T is time bound. And what they mean in this in SMART goals is setting an end date so that you have a little bit of pressure to get going, or to make sure that you're going after and you're chasing these goals. I do not like putting time on things, because especially in the beginning, if we go a little bit off and you have the thing that you want to accomplish and you run through all of this and you get to the end and you haven't achieved your goal, you're going to quit. And I don't want you to quit for that. And so if you're going to time bound yourself, this needs to be, when are you going to start? You're going to start Monday, but that's your time bound. You better start Monday. I think that's much better to put pressure on yourself to get going than to put pressure on yourself to have hit a goal by a certain point. Because we don't even know all the time, especially in the beginning, what goals are going to be possible. You're probably going to have a little bit loftier thoughts than what's actually possible. Every year I set out to improve my lifts by 10 or 15 pounds and all these different things, but it's just not reasonable. And so those aren't real goals of mine. Whenever I set a real goal, I'm often at this point surprised at how much work it'll take to keep moving the ball a little bit. And so I'm getting a little bit off topic on that. We're setting a SMART goal. The other thing that I think is going to set you up for success in doing this is having a realistic schedule. If you haven't been working out, you're time constrained and different things like that, and you're you know what, I've been being lazy, I need to show myself who's boss, I'm going to start training 6 days a week. That's probably not a good idea. And then let's add on some things. You got a business and employees, you got kids. If we have a time that other people or our children can take, you're going to lose that time and you're not going to be very consistent. And if you lose that time and you're not very consistent, you're going to get upset. And if you get upset, you're not going to want to do this anymore. So, and your schedule, what is an hour block that no one can take from you? Sadly, it's a lot of the times this is 5 a.m. And so if you can get up and work out at 5 a.m., how many times will you do that in a week? Will you do it twice? Because if so, that's more than what you're doing right now, and that should be your goal. or that should be your schedule. Because if you can go accomplish twice, you're going to start feeling really good, and it's easy to add a third. Where if you start with 4 and you're only able to do 2 or 3, you're going to feel like you're failing and you're ultimately going to fall off of this thing. So in the beginning, do not put very much pressure on yourself. We want to just start. And in starting, I want to have a SMART goal that I'm going after, as well as a reasonable schedule, something that I'm able to hit 100% and feel good, instead of like 80% and really be trying to like grind through it. Hope this helps.